tell you what, no, I want you to back up to verse 14. Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 14 and verse 15. And let me show y'all something.
Turn, O backsliding children, saith the Lord, for I am married unto you, and when I take you one of a city and two of a family, and I will bring you to Zion, and I will give you pastors according to my heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding.
You see that? You see that? He's literally saying to them, you found yourself, you were in a backslidden condition, and I got to rescue you. And the way that I'm going to rescue you is I'm going to give you a shepherd. I'm going to give you a shepherd. Did he say he's going to give him a prophet? Y'all can answer.
No.
Did he say he was going to give him any? Did he say he was going to give them an evangelist?
No.
Did he say he was going to even give them an apostle?
No.
Did he say he was going to give them a teacher?
No. No, he didn't.
What did he tell them he was going to give them?
Pastor. His own heart.
Woo! Boy. And you shall know the truth, Trim, and the truth shall make you free. I'm telling you, it's so many people that are literally wasting money because they are chasing after the wrong thing. If a person is occupied by the realm of a prophet, that is because of the spirit of increase. So then, yes, you drop there, but you don't drop what you would drop to the office of a pastor there. The shepherd that feedeth your soul, that is where you go with the tithe, the offering. That prophet gets out of the reservoir of the seed for the increase to come. Y'all better know the truth about this stuff. You better know the truth about it. If I was operating, this is me. Let me tell you about Delphine. If I was operating, if I had to go into a place and I had to be prophetess, say the Lord wanted me to go in as a prophet in the place, my thing would clearly be with anybody that did any type of giving, that is by way of sowing into me as seed for increase of harvest on them. If they came to me and said, here is tithe, I promise to God, take my life as I sit here as a woman of God, I turn it down. I would turn it down. I'm not their shepherd. So that's not an entitlement to me. I would literally become a thief and a robber that would unleash a spirit of deception that would taunt my ministry. Am I making sense to y'all?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Be wise, y'all. Be very wise. Be very, very wise. It can be tough, out here. And especially when it comes to, with money. Because, ain't very many people that gonna turn it down. Because it makes, things easier. So ain't very few that's gonna turn it down. But be very careful and be wise. And I want you all to know the protocol of how things function, how things flow, how it properly is to be done, so that you're not caught up in anything. Let's go to John chapter 10.
So with the method of it making it easier, they still be adding damnation unto themselves. So they still, to some degree, it's not easier. They should see something that's that's a negative indication unto their increase, right? Or something they should be losing because they're stealing.
Well, it definitely is going to be, it's going to cost something. It's going to cost something. It's just certain things you cannot, it depends on the office that you in. It's certain things you can't do. Like, for instance, I started out as Evangelist Lee. As Evangelist Lee, no, 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 no. You didn't catch me messing with no tires. Yeah, no, you didn't catch that. So it's just certain, it's protocol. It's just certain, it's protocol, y'all. And the thing of it is the sad part about it is a lot of people are ignorant to it, and it's not to say that they dumb. Please don't take it the wrong way, because I'm not knocking anybody. I've been ignorant in so many areas myself. I've lost a lot of stuff myself because of my ignorance. But the thing of it is you have to know the right and the proper context of doing things. If you got people, let me just go into this with y'all. I'm gonna talk people of leadership, of titles and positions. You got some of them that, yeah, they, although they have a title, they still got inner issues. All of us got issues. Y'all see how, y'all know how, you see my inner issue is y'all know how I cuss, what I'm saying? Help me, Lord. You know what I'm saying? I get, I might cuss somebody out, or whatever the case may be. Well, okay, that's an inner issue. You got this inner issue that goes on. It's not a place of perfection. It hasn't necessarily been dominated, so to speak. And because of that struggle, it can offset certain things. That's why I work so hard to be honest about me, even with my struggles. Because I feel like if I hid my struggle would dominate me. I literally take the power out of the struggle by confessing the struggle. But if I just sat there and I just, I hid it, and I held it back, I covered it up or what have you, that's usually when you get plagued by stuff the most. Why? Because the enemy sees that you're trying to hide it. So then he starts setting all kinds of traps for exposure to come to you. But if it's something that you're not hiding and you're confessing even publicly with the people that this is my struggle, that this is what I am dealing with, then it brings a greater level of respect from the people, because the people see that you yourself are having to overcome struggles as well. And it lets them know that if I ever find myself in a position, the way I saw her overcome is the same way that I can fight to overcome. I know I can come out of this. I know that there is a hope for me, versus someone that, acted as if they didn't have any type of issue or any type of, struggle, or whatever the case may be. It just makes it so much easier, and it lessens the power of the struggle when you confess the struggle. It's a freedom in the conscience that it brings about when you confess the struggle. And I have seen, leaders, because I've been in the scope of being around leaders. I have seen where there are some that literally struggle with certain things, like they struggle with letting certain territories go and all that type of stuff. Like for instance, I'll give an example. I'm just going to use an analogy. If a person is at point A and the Lord is now calling them to point B, well, Anytime you start something new, you start as a student. You go in as a student. You very seldomly gonna go in, as prolific. You're gonna go in as a student because it's a new place that you got to learn new things about. You got to develop now in that place. Well, a lot of times leaving the old and coming into the new means that I can't carry what was old into this new place. And there will be an element of fear because I now got to go empty. Remember in the scripture, Jesus told them, don't take nothing. Don't take nothing, because what he was trying to tell them is where you're going is going to be suffice for itself. So don't worry about trying to bring in your old attitude. Don't worry about trying to bring in the old method of how you learned to survive. Don't worry about that. Just take yourself. I got this taken care of. But what happens even with preachers is there is an element of fear, because this means I got to go in empty handed. I can't go in with nothing. I've got to relinquish this that I had. And a lot of them will refuse to relinquish it out of a fear. Out of a fear. Because you go in at ground zero. You go in on ground level. Because you gotta build up in that new place. And so I've literally seen that, literally have seen that happen. And that's something that I work on myself to say, okay, if you go to your Delphine, listen, please don't do that. If you go, if God calls you to another place, don't do that. Please don't. Don't, take your butt on about your business. Don't be still trying to hold on to something and still trying to, grab folk and hold folk and all this kind of stuff because you are afraid. Because what happens is what you have been called into, you cannot get that. Your opportunity for your new place can't find you, can't get to you, because you still trying to hold on to an old season, holding on to an old place. And that's the issue that you see. Transition has always been a big thing. That's why I always push y'all to learn how to transition. Stop being scared, man. Stop being afraid to go somewhere. Stop being afraid to let something go. Stop being afraid to move. I don't care. If the man said to me, right, definitely listen, I'm going to need you to pick up your stuff and go to such and such. Well, baby, saddle the ass because the chick gone. She gone to the next place. I don't care nothing about none of that. You lose out. But you have to know how to not allow yourself to be emotionally attached to stuff. You will be surprised how many people are emotionally attached to stuff. They are emotionally attached to their houses. Yeah, like that's the only one they can ever get. And God got something for them, but they emotionally attached to that. When really and truly it's not so much that they are emotionally attached to that. What they are emotionally attached to is the level of comfort that it has brought. And they're afraid to step out into another level because they got to leave this comfort zone. You'll be surprised how many people are emotionally attached to their to their job. Just over broke. That's what a job is. Just over broke. So that job keeps you just over broke. It doesn't put you into a place of prosperity. It just keeps you just over broke. You got a couple pennies left. You feel content. You good about that. Just over broke. They are content about that. Why? It's not so much about the job. It is the level of comfort that they have gotten accustomed to. So then they don't want to move beyond that. You'll be surprised how many people are literally emotionally caught up with money, with mammon, emotionally caught up with it, locked in on it, because this is what they think. This is the mindset that they have. They're under the mentality that I have mastered this thing. Listen, let me tell you something about money. Money is not going to be something that you will ever find yourself in a way of being able to master. And when I say master, it means that you are pretty much like dominance over it. Unless I'm gonna explain to you what I'm saying to you. See, it comes and it goes, and you never know when it's gonna come and it's gonna go. So how can you master it? What you have to do is you have to master you, so that money does not control you. That's who you master. You get a grip on you. It's going to come and it's going to go. You gonna have it sometime you ain't. So how is it that you can dominate